Hey, welcome back to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid, roles could be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates. Also, know on this channel, I like to dive deep within the readings. So we do look at everything, but we take time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, see how they play out as karmic themes. So the readings have a therapy style to them. You want to keep that in mind if ever you want to enter into winning a free reading. That part of your reading will be a shadow reading. And also, all readings that are given away are done live. So you have to be open to getting it live. All right, now if you want to enter, you also have to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write the word of the video in your comment bar. You'll know if I chose you, if I wrote the word winner underneath your comment. All right. Now, before I jump in, I also wanted to share of any important information about the channel you can find in the description box, including the word of the video. And if you're someone that is in need of shadow healing, wants shadow healing, check out my website, pureenergyhealer.com. There you'll find the link to my TV show that I do every Tuesday night, where I talk about different holistic and spiritual topics that help you heal the effects of trauma. You can also read a lot of different blogs. I have over 100 blogs on my website, and you'll also find a link to my radio show. So if ever you want to call up or listen to readings or whatever, you can find everything right through my website, pureenergyhealer.com. Now, also, my shadow healing coaching program right now is on hold because I have the max amount of people. But if you fill out the link below, like you'll click on it and then it'll send you to something to fill out. The next time I do enrollment, you'll be notified. All right. My shadow healing coaching program is not just shadow healing, it's inner child healing, it's reparenting, and it's also all the healing modalities to help you heal the effects of trauma. We go into life's purpose. So you'll figure out why are here and how you can make money. Again, because your life's purpose is your contribution to humanity, but it's also what helps you stay grounded in the physical world. It makes you feel fulfilled in life. And when you are really fulfilled in life, you are less likely to allow people that are not on a high vibration in your life because you're fulfilled. So why are you going to bring someone into your life that makes you feel like crap? You wind up looking at everything, where a lot of times if you're not fulfilled, it's very easy to look at a person and see what you want to see, but not really what that person is. So it's a way to actually heal yourself, because healing is not just the integration where you learn the spiritual lesson, but it's actually seeing a different outcome, allowing you to see yourself have what you have been blocking yourself to. And a lot of times that's good, healthy relationships. So we're going to jump in. And like I said, if you want to enter into winning a free reading, gotta like the video, subscribe to the channel, write the word of the video in the comment bar. All right, the word of the video is going to be, let's hope that we pick a different one. I feel like I'm getting like all the same ones lately. Perfectionism. Okay, I want to pull another one because we've been getting perfectionism, and that whether it's on this channel or another channel, I just feel like that's a word. Now, it's not uncommon either, for a person to feel the same way, in a few days in a row when you're tapping into energy, right? And the message always goes to the person that needs to hear the message. So someone that's really stuck in a perception where they feel that they need to be perfect, we know that they have shame. A person does not try to become like come across perfect unless they feel inadequate. When we're really coming from our true self, then it's authentic, it's transparent. I feel like you were dealing with a person that never let you get up close, and it's because they like to give the illusion that they're like perfect. But the problem is that their perfect is not the same as everyone else's perfect, right? There's no such thing as perfect. We shoot for excellence. So I'm feeling like you're dealing with someone that, when you knew them, they felt like they were in the best like era of their life. They had a great job. I feel like they, were making a ton of money. They owned a lot of property. It had a lot of investments. This person bases a lot of who they are on money. That's not really who they are, on a spiritual perception, like we are not our money, we are not our perceptions. The gift of style. See, and that's what I was trying to say. Like when we feel good about ourselves, we don't feel the need to be perfect. When we're coming from our true self, our higher self, we're actually in the gift of style. And the gift of style is our own unique process, which happens to be an unfoldment process. So I feel like someone watches you and they think that life is so easy for you. And it's because you're doing what you love. I feel like you know who you are. See, at one time, this person got caught up in the glitz and the glimmer of the possession. So they would meet somebody that had a lot of things and think that they were, a good person, a high quality person of high morals. And that's not what it is. A person is not their possessions. So I feel like this person never gave you the credit of who you are, but like never looked at you as a person. Now I feel like they're looking at you as a person because they're seeing that you were transparent, that you are real. This person is used to not dealing with real people. So I feel like when they went into this connection, they were more concerned about how they came across and not really who you were. I feel like they based who you are on what you have and what you don't have. But when now they're looking at you through a different perception. And that perception is that they see that life is easy for you, but you don't follow the crowd. You are your own person. You beat to your own drum. And that is very refreshing. However, when you were dealing with this person, we already know that you weren't really dealing with a real person because they were caught up in trying to show you like who they wanted you to perceive that they are, not really who they are. And the thing is, I don't think that you knew that because you were caught up in your own life, but not for the same reasons that this person was. I feel like you're in the gift to style. When you're in the gift to style, you're doing what you love. You're in the passion for life, which obviously is the reason why this person thinks that life is easy for you. It's like where this person was always in search for something else to fill them. And that happens when we try to become perfect. It's not fulfilling to try and emulate perfection. What's fulfilling is, again, when you're in this energy, the gift of style, because the gift of style has everything to do with your own unique individuality. It's where you're putting your time, your energy, your focus, and your money. And it's things that are going to give you equal give and take reciprocity. You're giving in, so you're getting back. This is, again, how you know that you are in the flow of the universe. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. That we're not in charge of how we manifest, but we can have the vision of what we want to manifest, know what we want to manifest as clear as day in our head, but we're not allowed again to say how we get there. The universe conspires to bring you things to help you get there. So you're someone that's very intuitive, very psychic, And so again, this is not a logical thing. So when your person met you, again, they were so caught up in giving the persona that they were perfect with their business, with their money, with their possessions, with how they look, that again, they were looking at you and not really, like I said, seeing everything for what it really was. They were judging you on, oh, you don't have like a nice car, maybe, like, or you don't have nice clothes, or your clothes are just ordinary. You don't have a lot of name brand things, and you don't really care how you come across, and you don't, but you're happy. So, like I said, now they're seeing things from a different perception where you're like, well, the whole time that you were with me, I felt like you weren't interested in me because you were always in search for something. And that's because this person felt empty, feels inadequate, doesn't really believe that relationships work out. Because a person that is in need to feel perfect and wants to be perceived as perfect. Well, again, if they haven't seen love. They haven't gotten that unconditional love. So they don't really believe that they can be loved. And that's possible also because they lead with their possessions. They don't lead with who they are, and that might be again by how much money they have. They talk about how much money they have. They talk about the investments. They talk about things that you really don't have, you couldn't really have a conversation with them about because that's not where you are. You're in the process of creating your life. And when you create your life, you're actually creating a very strong foundation for yourself because you bring yourself with you. Your stability, it actually isn't your money because you can lose your money. The stock market can crash. You can lose your job. However, you will never lose yourself. So, in the fact of creating yourself, you created a strong foundation. Life seems easy. People connect to you easily. And that's because, again, you're authentic, where this person is not. They're always in search for something. And that's because, again, when you grow up without, when you grow up with a lack of money, a lack of resources, you think stability is your money. You think stability is your stuff. And that's why this person, like again, had created, where I feel like you grew up the same way, but it's like you didn't like have the knowledge to like or be really into anything except for what really your passion, what your soul calls to. So some of you guys are artists, some of you guys are, creatives, intuitives. Because the gift to style, like I said, is an unfoldment process that when you're doing what you love, what you're passionate about, well, it's again, you're feeding it. And so the universe is also conspiring to bring you everything that you need. All you need to do is give a mustard seed's worth of energy, and the universe, like I said, conspires to bring you more of it. So the more that you give, the more that you get in return. And the currency of giving is how much love, how much energy, how much time. And that's why we shoot for excellence. We don't shoot for perfection because perfection is, and when we have that, that's the first, that's the number one reason why people sabotage themselves because again the what's underneath it is inadequacy and inadequacy because the person doesn't know who they are. That happens, like I said, when we find ourselves. So instead this person was too busy creating illusions that they were perfect, and because of it, it made them very emotional, like where I feel like they would get triggered a lot, and they get triggered a lot by your authenticity, by your transparency, and also by you demanding transparency. It makes this person angry, and then they're ruled by their anger. And then when you like want to call them out on their stuff, or really wanted to create the intimacy with this person to figure out like, well, hey, like, what are we? Are we, are you interested in a relationship? Like you're giving me a lot of mixed messages. Well, I feel like they did like you, but that's why they wanted to impress you because they wanted to come across as perfect. And that in doing that, it creates a lot of illusions, but also leaves them like very depleted emotionally. So of course they're always looking for things. And so what you felt was you're not really satisfied in this connection because you're not giving me what I need. And I can tell that you're not settled. And so this person would then get like over the top emotional their behavior. They would create drama for control because they didn't want you to see that really their life is empty. They've created a lot of illusions of who they want you to perceive that they are. People do that when they feel inadequate. People that feel inadequate have shame. And so that is a shadow. That's not who this person is. However, this person has walked from that level of consciousness. So I feel like they have a lot of very addictive behavior. They don't just have addictive behavior, they have they're led by their emotions, but they're not emotionally intelligent. But it doesn't mean that they don't have feelings. What I see here with you is you were able to like leave this person and leave this person because you're actually in the gift of style. And unless it's vibrating at your vibrational frequency, it's not going to stay in your life because you're not moving you. The divine is moving you. The universe is conspiring to bring you the things to help you. And because intuitively you're following that, you're living your bliss. This person isn't living their bliss. They're living at a low vibration. That's why they see your life. Oh, why is your life so easy? And why it's triggering to them because they're jealous. They're jealous that your life looks easy. They can see that it's gonna work out, and like they feel like they put in so much time and effort and energy, and they always wind up with nothing. And it's because they're not coming from a high vibration. They're coming from a very low vibration. They're coming from a low vibration of I'm angry because I don't like myself. I'm still walking around with the shame, though I'm not aware that I'm doing that. And I'm not aware because I've accumulated a lot of things, material things. I've accumulated um, that perception, though I feel empty inside. It's like, so the more that I, want fill myself, it's like the whole never gets fulfilled. And the whole doesn't get fulfilled because this person doesn't know who they are. You can't emulate who you are. You have to become who you are. And if you're emulating who you are, then what happens is it's that there's always a weird energy because you can't emulate who you are. That's like copying somebody. It's not authentic. It feels weird. You don't get good results because the universe responds to not the fact that you're emulating someone and you're that saying, I want to be like this. What the universe is conspiring to is the fact that you feel like you're inadequate. So you feel the need to emulate someone else. So you're actually coming from a fear-based consciousness because there's there's spiritual blocks of shame from childhood. So in it, like this person creates illusions to be loved, to be liked, but what the illusions do is it makes you not be able to connect on a intimate connection where if it's a soul's connection, you want a deep connection. Yeah, so this person then, because there are feelings and they didn't treat you right, they feel guilty. See, it would be easy if you would have reacted. If you are on a low vibration, the way that this person's on a low vibration, and you would have yelled at them for again, like not giving you the time, but always looking around for something to fulfill them because you weren't giving them enough time because you're in the gift of style. You're feeding yourself. You're again co-creating with the universe, becoming yourself. So this person, like I said, feels bad because they never told you how they truly felt. Instead, they were too busy creating illusions of wanting to seem perfect so that you would again think that they were good enough. But the problem is that their anger is really what leads them. And so they're the ones. Sorry, they're the ones that don't feel good enough. And so they created a lot of distance. Now, its soul relationship is ESP through the heart and mind. So when this person like checks out because they're angry and it doesn't feel good to be angry, they disassociate from themselves. So you don't really feel that they're there either. But then this person also uses time and distance as a way to control you. They feel guilty because they didn't really tell you how they felt. They didn't give this connection 100%. But it's not because of you, it's because of how they feel about themselves. And so, like, what it is that because they vibe at a low vibration, they tend to stray a lot. And so what happened is, did they have a connection to you? Yeah. But you were vibing on such a high vibration, giving yourself the energy. You weren't giving this person anything. And they're on a low vibration that continually needs to fill themselves because they don't know who they are. So people, so I feel like this person got tempted by someone else, so they had the opportunity to raise their vibration, but they didn't. Instead, they lived by their lower vibrations, which is to run around and get attention from other people. The thing is that it doesn't work out because it's never coming from the right way. See, they're empty. They're trying to fulfill themselves, and what they do is they attract people that are empty too. So now that they have something to compare, which here it is, it's like you don't need anyone. You're able to fulfill yourself. This person, I believe, has commitment issues because again, they tend to not choose the right people, people that are not really filling their cup up. Let me just see. I'm afraid of losing you. Yeah, like I can't stand the thought of you with someone else. So it's like this is another reason why they're angry, and so they're being forced to look at the connection, which is that they're seeing because they didn't tell you how they feel. It's almost like they can't let this go. If they knew that you knew that they had really had feelings and you were like, no, I don't want to be with you because, when you had the chance to be in my life, you didn't want to be in my life. You were too busy, like creating illusions. And because I wasn't giving in to you, you strayed. You went with for other people to give you emotionally. And in that, I was not affected because I created myself. You expected me to to be afraid and to run back to you. That's not what happened. This person now sees that and what they like gambled it. And so now they're like I said, are afraid of losing you. And of course they see you as a good catch. So why wouldn't other people. And so, like I said, they use time and distance as a way to control you, to make you, to trigger you, into like calling them. Because again, they were prideful. They would, that part of them not wanting to seem perfect was not just in the beginning of the connection when they first met you, but now, it's having to come back and apologize. Well, now they seem weak. They seem like they don't have other options. And so this person is still being led by their ego, even though they have feelings for you. But of course, it's their ego that is saying, well, I'm gonna lose you. I run away to avoid facing problems. Yeah, so where they're seeing that if they just would have talked this out, that maybe you would have given them more time. If they just would have been honest and told you their feelings, but instead they were too busy creating the illusions. And like I said, that leaves you very depleted because there's always a fear of you finding people finding out that the illusions aren't real. It's like if you're so busy creating illusions, you're not taking the time to really build authentic, intimate connections. So whoever you're connected to is not feeling fulfilled. And that's what happened here. And they did it more than one time. It's something that I feel like you gave this person many a chance to fix the connection. And they didn't. And they see that. It's like they that's the issue. It's like when the relationship gets hard, they run away. When you have a problem, they don't face it because again, they don't want to be seen as imperfect. They want to be seen as perfect. So when there's a problem, they don't really know how to handle it because they get caught up in again feeling inadequate and having that shame come up, which remember, shame is not who a person is. Shame is a spiritual um, issue. Like it's a character flaw. It's that when you go through an experience, you can feel shameful about that experience, but that is not who you are. Like I said, people wear their wounds like armor, and that's like what this person has done. It's like they think that they're that shame. That's why they're like, nope, I'm not gonna let you come in. I'm gonna control it, but I feel empty inside because if we don't know who we are and we're not doing things that are fulfilling us and we don't know what our purpose is here, then of course we're going to feel the need to fill ourselves with outside things. This person uses people as that, but they also choose a certain type of person normally, someone that's very glitzy and glamoury and someone that looks like they have a lot of money and they look like they have success. So again, when this person met you, they didn't see that you were like that. That you weren't caught up in the name brands. You didn't have like a name brand bag and a name brand car and a name brand like that's not who you were. You were actually creating yourself, becoming yourself, because the gift of style is that. It's like I said, it's when you're having a love affair with yourself, you're finding yourself, and it's literally an unfoldment process, which is when you're creating yourself from the inside out. This person's used to being with people from the outside in. And so, like I said, they expected to deal with you where they wouldn't even have feelings for you because you didn't have the stuff or they perceived that you didn't have the stuff. When meanwhile, now they still have like a connection. But the thing is, they've been taught to deal with you a certain way, and that's so it's they continue to try to put the square peg in the circle hole, and that's because they run away from problems, they run away from their triggers, they run away from doing any healing work. So of course they would be looking at you as if, wow, your life is so easy, your life, your life um they can see how you'd be attract people. You're authentic, you're real. This person didn't want to be in that energy before. They were really in their lower energy. And it shows all over this reading. So let's look and see what their some of their hidden truths are. Because now, like I said, I feel like they're in regret. I'm starting to understand our connection, and I feel like they may not think that you're going to live like together forever, but they definitely feel like you're someone that's important in their life. And it's because, like I said, because of this energy, I feel like you're creating yourself, that you're living your bliss. Much different from living in the logical, analytical mind where everything makes sense, but everything is boring. Everything is structured. And so what happens is other people tend to take a lot of your energy when you're in that logical, analytical mind because you're very in a structured environment. And so you're being taught what to think and what to say and what to do a lot of times. In school, that's one left brain structure. Well, when you get into the business world, so this person has made a lot of money, but they're not doing what they love. And because of that, they're connected to people that they don't really even resonate with. So their stuff has become like who they are. We spend the majority of time at work. So if this is what it is, then they're not really having those authentic relationships. They were living from their lower energies, which is the addictive energy, which, again, they get tempted really easy. And they don't really have like emotionally deep connections. And partially that's because of their own trauma. And also because like if they have trauma, they're detached. That's number one. But then you're busy trying to be perfect because you feel inadequate, but you feel inadequate because you're detached. And that's because you don't know who you are. So I replay our conversations over and over. So this person's missing you and they're seeing your life. And they're, of course, like you've made an impact on their life, where now they see that you really were like a friend to them. Where when you first met this person, like were in survival, they didn't trust anyone. It's almost like the relationship needed to end for this person to actually look at it for what it was. My life is not as together as it seems. And that's what I'm saying. This person knows if you were going to be in their life, they would have to fix their life. They created a life that made it look perfect. It's not perfect. Like I said, it's not as together. It's because this person doesn't know who they are. And because they don't know who they are, they feel empty. They get tempted really easy. And they also tend to be very distant when they're in relationships because of the intimacy issues, which is built on trust. And if you don't know who you are, you don't trust yourself, and then you're not going to trust the relationships that you're in. And the reason why is because this person is codependent. They come in and they give a lot and they're so caught up in what they look like that they're creating the illusions that they're not creating the intimacy. They're not being transparent in the relationship. This person wasn't transparent in the relationship with you. That's why they feel guilty because they still do have feelings. But it's again, they've lived a lot of karmic loops. It's the same loop over and over and over again because they don't realize that the problem is inside of them. They still keep on looking for the answer outside of them, even within connections. And what it is that it always comes up short. So they are always angry. So now they're looking at you because you are in the gifted style, and this is a very high vibration. It's like when the creative genius inside of you is leading you, you're living your bliss. The universe is conspiring to make a way, but there is no way for you because you're doing what you love, you're in this high vibration. And this person is like, again, realizing that you're evolving right the hell out of their life. And it's, they're saying, how did I even get here? And it's because they run from problems, but they're stuck in the memory of you. It's again, it's well, they're realizing that this connection is a deep connection. Because again, what they're starting to realize that it's a soul's connection, and they're also realizing because of how much time has gone by and how they viewed you, it's like they don't just feel guilty, but now they're like, I can't stand the thought of you with somebody else, and I'm afraid of losing you because you're real, you're authentic, you're like, I should have been more open and transparent with you again, but I was caught up in the fact that I really didn't think that you were going to like me, which is why they did all that. Silent treatment. That's why I gave you the silent treatment. I created the the time and the space away from you to trigger you, to manipulate you, to give me what I wanted. But being that you're in the gifted style, you're at a high vibration where you're always feeding yourself and creating yourself, that you're also connecting to different people, that this person actually got triggered, like felt insecure because it's like that's not how they're living. So if you don't need them, that's what it appeared to them. I feel like I can be my true self around you. It's like this person's realizing I could have been like real. I didn't need to be somebody else. I didn't need to be perfect. Like they're saying that to themselves now, like I feel like I could have. I'm battling inner demons again, and that's the healing, the healing that they need to do. They've created all these, you know, uh perceptions about themselves, which aren't real. They're based on past experiences of shame, make us feel as if we're inadequate, make us feel like there's something wrong with us. So when you met this person, they just created that illusion. And they also tended to connect with people that also did that. So again, relationships weren't real. Love isn't real. Um, what's important is money. What's important is things. This is what this person thought. And what they're seeing is it's like, well, you didn't have the money, you didn't have, but you were real. You were authentic. I didn't understand what you were doing, and I also didn't think that whatever you were going to do was going to work out, that you were going to be able to manifest anything of the material, like money wise. So this person again got caught up in the glitz of the of material and based life on that. And what it is that you showed them a different way to be. So part of battling the inner demons is actually allowing themselves to be their true self. Like they feel like they can, but it's still scary to them because they're used to creating the persona. And they're, what if you don't like them? So I feel like this connection has brought this person to like really dive deep with inside of themselves, which is really important because they'll never be able to manifest anything lasting, becoming somebody else, trying to become someone else. Relationships will always never work out because they're always focused on needing to create the illusion in order to be loved, which means that they don't really believe that they themselves can be loved. When really, through you, what you show people is that you don't really need the love because you're creating the love that's inside of you. And though because you're doing that, you don't need love. You're actually connected to people that actually are feeding you emotionally that love, and that you're also not worried about what might happen, what could happen, what did happen, because you're in the gift of style. So life looks so easy, where life is so hard for this person. And when life is hard, then relationships are hard. So you actually made a big impact on this person, and they also see that you're a really good person and coming from a high vibration, and that's why they feel guilty, because they were like, I got so caught up in trying to make you fall in love with what I was showing you, that I didn't take the time to actually tell you how I really feel and to build that connection to you, because I was afraid. And that's a big deal, because this person has intimacy issues, trust issues, and it goes back to not trusting themselves, because when they're manifesting, how they're going about obtaining things is not the way. It's how they're going to build uh, things that don't have a strong foundation. We get a strong foundation by knowing who we are, by creating ourselves, by not creating outside illusions. And, what we perceive is going to make us strong, like living in a big house or driving a nice car or wearing nice clothes. Like those are all things that, the ego will tell you that you need in order to be successful. This person likes to appear as they're successful, where what you're showing this person is, I am successful on all levels. You're not really successful on any level. And that's why they're like, my life isn't as put together as it appears. That's what you make me see within myself. It's again where, and they also feel like that's why they only have toxic situations and relationships happen for them, because it's all about control. It's all about um, low vibration. It's a very low vibration of the way that they are, and why it would always seem as if, they don't have lasting relationships. And they don't have lasting relationships because someone that gets caught up in the outside illusions, they just get caught up also in the lust of the relationship. And then the relationship goes super fast. And then they're not really, you know, here for a good time, not a long time. Then they get bored. They have to let a person in a little bit to see to really build a bond. And if they don't do it, of course they're going to get bored, because it's superficial. And so it's more exciting for this person to go from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship to get fulfilled, because it's filling their ego, and they don't have to go deep. But it also is the reason why their relationships stay on a very low vibration, and why they don't trust who they are. So they're seeing someone that has a high vibration, doesn't hide behind material things. Again, like who they have been attracted, especially if they're leading with the fact of how much money that they have. So they're having this realization of, yeah, these are the people that I've chosen, but I also invite them into my life because that's what I'm leading by. And it keeps me in a low vibration because of the people that I also attract, where you're at a high vibration, but I don't see a lot of money here. And it doesn't mean that you don't have it. It just means that you don't lead by it. This person doesn't understand the way that you live your life. It looks easy. It looks like you don't, have to work hard at it. But when you're living your bliss, you don't. You're living in from the creative mind, where this person lives from the survival mind. So life is hard because that's what they are telling. the universe by creating illusions and trying to be perfect. Whenever we try and be perfect, it's hard. Yeah, words have hurt me in the past, and that's why I fear talking to you. Yeah, so like I said, this person's all blocked up, but I'm afraid you're going to meet someone else before I'm ready to be with you for good. So this is like the same like thing where this person is realizing, please don't give up on me. I'm trying to change, but it takes time. So this person's trying before they come to you, they want to have a better sense of who they are. That's what it sounds like. And it's like they don't want to come into your life and feeling empty because then they feel like they're going to be like a leech and they already are somebody that doesn't feel good about themselves. They view you on a high vibration. They view you as somebody that is like really shown them how they can create their life and live a happy life and that there is a connection there. They actually feel that they can be their true self around you, but this connection had to like end in order for them to take the time to actually look at their situation, look at themselves, and to be affected by it. I've hurt you and I'm sorry. I hope you can forgive me someday. And I understand I was reacting from fear. And that's again, I created the illusions because I feel like you wouldn't like me. So I run from any type of problem because I feel like you're not going to stay. It's easier to not know and keep it in limbo than it is. I feel our energy merging together as if it has a life of its own. We are becoming one again. So this person feels as if like they can't help it. It's like I feel like they had the wall up. They're someone that is like, I don't want to feel vulnerable. I don't really want to change, but I feel like I have to change. And I have to change because I'm going to lose you. But really, the truth of the matter is that this person is so drawn to you because of your life, because of the way that you live your life. It seems easy, you're happy, you don't have all these responsibilities. You're not trying to impress anyone. That when you again are trying to you know, become perfect, be perfect. You're trying to impress people. And what happens is that the people that you're trying to impress, they wind up not really respecting you because they can feel it's not authentic as well. It's like you're trying really hard to fit in. And so people then tend to, again, not value. They don't value. So it's like with you, this person is seeing that it was like a real connection and that they can't control it. That's why they're like, it's merging together. Like, even though I walk away and I try not to feed this connection, I can't help it. I just know that I'm going to come back. I just know I'm coming back. I just want to come back as a stronger version of myself. I just want to come back as someone that is going to be like match your energy. Otherwise, you're not going to be in my life. Now, you may be like, this is impossible, but the truth of the matter is the universe brings us people that gives us the opportunity to step it up. I mean, sometimes we don't know what it looks like. What it looks like is that the universe brought you into this person's life to show them what it looks like to be transparent and authentic, and that they actually could have a connection with somebody, even though they feel inadequate, they still feel that they could be themselves. They feel bad because they never really showed you who they truly are because they were too afraid that you wouldn't really like them because they don't like themselves, but they're judging themselves on something that's not true. If you don't know who you are, you're not going to like who you are because, it's going to come out within your habits and your behaviorisms and what you manifest. So this person has been living from that level of consciousness, never knew mainly because they grew up in a poverty state consciousness and then acquired a lot of things thinking, well, this is what the success is going to be. This is what's going to fulfill me. But what it did was just attract more people to them that were the same as them, empty. So that leads to toxic relationships where this person was toxic with you, but you weren't affected. You evolved right out of their life because you're co-creating with the universe, which made this person actually look at your life, look at their lives, and see where they're a little bit envious of like how your life looks again. And this is like satisfaction, perfection, love, romance, like on every level, like you elevate this person's mood because there are feelings, but it's like they can see how a life would be. Yeah, like it's like they also can see that you're like laser focused in what you're doing, and that if this person's going to come into your life, they're going to have to match your energy. So I feel like they are going to come back into your life. I just don't know if they know exactly when. It sounds like almost like a divine timing type thing when they just feel like they're ready. Now you might be like, well, who's to say that I'm going to want to be? Well, even if you're not with this person, the universe utilized you to teach this person. Now, because they took so long to come back and because, they're trying to figure it out and they're worried that you're going to meet somebody else. So they know damn well that it took them a long time, but they know for a fact you won't stay in their life if they don't match your energy. That they have to be coming in a better version of themselves. Otherwise, the relationship doesn't have a chance. So they're just figuring the relationship will work because it's going to take a lot of, they're going to put in a lot of effort. They know that the relationship is going to take a lot of effort in order to be repaired. So they have to be strong. They can't not be strong and then give all their effort to you because then you're still not going to be happy. So, like I said, the passion and the love is something that's also the catalyst that is making this person do it, but it's also the fact of your life, like I said. So it's teaching them. So you may and you may not. I mean, some people will, they won't, but it doesn't matter. Um, like I said, it doesn't matter. The universe already is saying like, well, it's already did its job, you know, that it taught. It doesn't mean that it's going to be easy. I feel like this person's going to still need to learn how to like have a conversation with you, like where they're not closing down. Like I said, they've been taught not to be transparent. So, you know, they're going to have to learn how to be transparent. And the only thing that gets people to heal is unconditional love. So, like I said, I feel like because you're in the energy of unconditional love by doing what you love, this person was allowed to figure it out because you weren't right there putting demands. There was no ownership. There was no expectation. You evolved right out of this person's life. Again, they realized what you brought to the table after you evolved out of their life. Then they looked at their own life and said, well, I would need to repair this in order to be in your life. But the truth of the matter is, they would need to repair it to just have their life function properly and not be codependent and not, because there's parts of them that feel defective. And when you feel defective, you can't manifest good things. You can't even hold on to abundance. That energy needs to be integrated and transmuted. And so spirit's utilizing you to help this person transmute, not just integrate, but transmute the negative energy, because by them changing and learning how to communicate and learning how to surrender, to this connection and learning how to surrender to just be who they are, be authentic, be transparent, well, then they're going to see that they don't really, they're not going to manifest bad things. They're actually going to bring in things that are more in alignment with who they are and the things that they love. So we have to say, why did you attract this person? Because this is really, the universe is not saying one way or the other whether you take this person back. I feel like it's you know, some of you guys will, some of you guys won't. But we do know that there's always a reason why you attract the people into your life that you do. So we see the number one is play, gifts, self-sabotage, abuse, hope, love, and one more, which is organized chaos. Well, I feel like obviously, like you grew up in an environment that there was abuse, and that abuse is when we wind up self-sabotaging ourselves, this is the same energy that this person holds. So you're a mirror of whom what comes into your life. And that happens when you have a parent that betrays you, when you have a parent that doesn't trust you, then what winds up happening is you wind up like living from a survival perspective, and you don't really believe that you're deserving of love when you grow up with abuse. Now, the abuse that I see here is one that didn't allow you to have your own unique unfoldment process, and the awareness that, like, the craziness is that you're actually doing that now. You are transmuting that negative energy from childhood because you're integrating the spiritual lesson. How do you find who you are? You're not your abuse and the shame, because self-sabotage, like I said, that's when we try to be perfect, when we try to be something that we're not. And I feel like before you met this person, you had the same wound that this person had. And so even though you were like healing it, when this person didn't give you anything, you wind up putting the energy into yourself. And I know that because we see play here and we see gifts here. That when you play, and that just means like putting your energy towards the things that you love, your hobbies, your interests, because when you're an adult, that's what you're doing. You're playing. You're like called to the things that stir up your soul. You're drawn to the things that fill you. So it's again that you put the energy into yourself because this person wasn't there. And that's when you find your gifts. And when you find your gifts and you're playing and you're doing what you love, the universe then conspires to bring you everything that you need. This is what brings you hope. This is actually what gives you that unconditional love. You're loving yourself, so then the universe is also bringing you things to support you, to show you that it loves you as well. So emotionally, you were fulfilled. So you're like, I'm not going to be with a person that isn't giving me anything. That is, again, instead, they're hiding behind the illusions of who they want me to perceive that they are instead of building a connection to me, which is very not satisfying to me at all. What's satisfying to me is love, is to fill myself up with love. And it's easy then for me to have hope because there's an actual unfoldment process that my psychic ability, which is my intuition, is showing me as I'm co-creating with the divine, because I'm not in charge of who comes to me or how I get there. I'm only in charge of, again, listening to my higher self and doing what's best for me and utilizing my gifts while I'm playing, which is again in the Bible, it says be like childlike because children go out and they create. They, utilize very broken structures to create themselves. It's like meaning that they'll utilize whatever's in their environment for what it can utilize. Nothing's forever and everything is imperfect. So we have to utilize things for what we can. And so Spirit says, that's what you did. You got grounded, so you found your gifts, and the healing antidote for really abuse is to love yourself. And when you're pouring it into you, you're not giving it to someone that can't give it to you. If you would have given the time and the energy to this person when you first met them, that would have been a form of self-sabotage because they showed you that they can't give you, but instead you poured it into yourself. And this person wasn't able to like create any chaos in your life. I feel like you grew up in organized chaos because if we grow up with abuse where we're not allowed to find ourselves and we don't feel loved and we don't feel supported, it's very hard to have hope. So I feel like you integrated some very significant childhood wounds. That's what this connection did. So Spirit says, regardless of whether you're going to be with this person or not, it doesn't matter. The universe conspired to bring you what you need to heal. And so if we have to pull one, it says, I've been learning about twin flames and it feels right to me. So you may feel like this person's a twin flame to you and understand if it's somebody that has changed, that you have affected this person's life and they affected yours in a way that once they came into your life, you couldn't like revert back to the old you. It made you step into a better version of you, which is what we see here. And also this person, that you're connected to that is your twin also was affected. It's like because that unconditional love, which is doesn't logically make sense. This person, like you said, is used to getting caught up in a certain type. So you're not even this person's type, but again, that's the twin flame journey. The twin flame journey, there's a lot of healing that goes on in separation. And there's a lot of change of perception because, again, that person that you're connected to has influenced you so much. And that's what we see with both parties. So the key will be not to listen to other people, but to do what you feel is right. And that, again, a lot of times twin flame journey does not make sense. So if this is something that you feel is a real twin, well, it's going to be hard to walk away from because that's the whole thing. There's a lot of passion, which makes us change. We wouldn't automatically or volunteer to change and become someone different, even though it's stepping into the best version of ourselves. We wouldn't offer to do that unless there really was unconditional love, if we really couldn't help it. And that's why Spirit's saying it's like, well, that's what this connection is. Because you both impacted each other. You, Virgo, where the pain of this person, like it not acting like a twin flame. They acted, they were caught up in like they're in the persona. Well, you put all your energy into yourself. This person like is not used to that. They're used to somebody that runs after them, that makes a stink. So here it is, you became a different version of yourself, and that's like showed this person, well, you don't exactly have it going on. I see like how you're living, which made them look transformation. That spirit ends off with that. Like relationships are all about transformation. I am constantly evolving. I improve inwardly by working on my weaknesses and refining my strength. Life ensures I'm presented with situations that will help me learn and grow. I am aware of my progress and open my wings to the light. So again, this relationship is a twin flame relationship, but it's the very early stages, almost like you guys met each other, there was this attraction, but it never really even got off the ground, even as friendship, because this person was caught up in the glitz and the glamour, didn't give you the time. The pain pushed you into stepping into your true divine self, and that made this person actually see how they were living again and realizing, wait a minute, it's like this is so much better, this type of person, someone that is living truthfully and authentically, is living from a high vibration. And I could see how I could be true, how I could be real, and how I could actually have a better life where I had judgments about relationships, that relationships are horrible. Well, relationships are horrible when you pretend to be someone that you're not. Again, and you're attracted to people that are pretending that they're somebody, but they're not. And that's how we're going to end it. All right, Virgo, you let me know how you resonated with this one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.